This video is a quick tutorial on DirecTV Swim dish antenna alignment. Already having a existing contract with DirecTV and no desire to spend a lot of money, I purchased the antenna from Satellite Oasis through Amazon. The site survey will tell you if receiving satellite signals is possible. You must have a clear view of the southern sky. I decided to mount my antenna next to my back door. Winds get very gusty and vehicles drive behind my fifth wheel. I had limited room. Now I had to prep the inside of my RV for wind service. I installed a power strip and removed the appropriate coaxial cable from the switch. In my case, it was the coax going to the rear of my fifth wheel coaxial jack. They include a 19 to 22 volt DC power supply that goes in line. It powers the LNB. This is important. Do not use the inline meters or you'll get a 775 error, and that's no power to the LNB. Now it's time to align. I have put up two screens you will need to find. The zip code screen and put in your zip code. This is where you get information on where to point your antenna. The second screen is signal strength. Turn up your volume or have another person help you. Since it differs by receiver, I will not get into this here. It depends on a hard startup or whether you lose a signal and need to realign your satellite dish. It has taken me some time to find these screens. Don't despair and take notes. The three things are azimuth, elevation, and tilt. Azimuth is pointing by using a compass. Mine was 145 degrees. Two ways you can get a course adjustment on azimuth. Mark the direction on the ground in front of the antenna, or you can look at the landmarks on the horizon in the correct direction, pointing your antenna in the same way. Elevation is pointing your antenna into the sky, i.e. parallel to the ground is 0 degrees and at high noon is 90 degrees. My setting was 47 degrees. In this case, the indicator is silver, but the one I have here at the fifth wheel is red. Tilt is tilting the entire oblong dish to the desired position. I consider this the least important. It helps in receiving more than one satellite in the sky. Note the black rings with numbers on them and the half-inch bolt is fine-tuning. I have found the right adjustment for elevation much more useful. We wanted to show you how we leveled the tripod for the DirecTV dish antenna. We went to a big box store and got some scrap 2x4 and fencing, and we got pretty close. You have to compensate if you can't get it exactly. When you travel, you have to disassemble this antenna into 4 different places, and you have to figure out a way to keep the bolts. I usually take, like, let's say the oblong dish apart and the bolts that fasten it, I put it in the dish and tighten them up slightly and so they won't come out, and I do that with the other parts. I don't know, after you get a proficient, I imagine you could do that even if you stay for one night, but I've only done it when I'm going to be at a place for 3 or 4 days. So that's your prerogative, how you want to handle it. It is a lot more trouble than what it was in the old days when you had an 18-inch round dish. And sometimes I had 2 dishes and put them in different satellites. If you want, go to another satellite. What I had on mine is the 101, which is the main one. And the secondary one was 103. You may have to compensate between your gain between the two. It's, it's just a matter of getting it right, and it takes practice. The problems that I had was the meter, inserting it in the line, and also the power supply. What I found out was that the receiver also puts out about 18 to 21 volts. It's just depending on how long of a line that you have going out of the back of your fifth wheel. Mine is actually less than what I had at the house that I had receiver originally in. DirecTV is a registered trademark of AT&T. I have not received any compensation from AT&T or DirecTV putting this up. My goal is to help RVers.